Hello, everyone. Welcome to After Duty Vets, where we discuss what life is like after the military. Okay, it's Bo again. Let's talk about deploying or going to war. This is not for everybody. Not everybody goes to war. Not everybody deploys. We all have our different experiences when it comes to this. Some have it, some don't. And that's okay. If you didn't deploy, it's no big deal. It's like, you didn't deploy because somebody else decided not to go to war. I mean, that's what it boils down to. If you were in and, there was a war going on and you had to deploy, okay, that's fine. But if you were in and you didn't deploy, that's fine also. I've been having, some issues with, Vietnam veterans coming up and telling me that they are Vietnam era veterans, that they didn't get sent to Vietnam, and they have some guilt and shame about that. And I try to let them know all the time that, you were sent to Germany or you were sent stateside based off of somebody else's decision, not yours. If you're told to go, you'd win, but you did not go based off of somebody else's decision. So there's no shame and guilt in that. A lot of times, though, veterans do judge each other because people aren't deployed. They hold it against them because they don't think that they're capable because they've never been in combat. They don't think they understand because they've never been in combat, which is a bunch of crap, really. So I ask those of you who have gone and deployed, don't be judging those who haven't been, because if they'd have been told to go, they'd have went, just like you. A lot of times, the lack of the combat experience is because of somebody else's decision, like I said before. So just know that their deployments oftentimes have to do with somebody else's decisions. I actually met a guy one time that had been on 7 deployments. And I'm like, damn, who did you piss off? To send you. And he was all excited about it. He loved it. He enjoyed combat. He enjoyed going to theater. He enjoyed that, and we'll get a little bit more about those kind of stories later, why that's okay with them. Me personally, 1 was enough. That was enough for me. Got it. I didn't have to do that one. If I'd had my choice, I wouldn't have done that one either. But that's another story. But anyway, the military changes you. And some people change more than others. And deployments definitely change you. War, you will not come back from war the same as you left. I don't give a damn who you are. You will come back a different person because you see crap that you should not be having to see. I don't care who you are. You will not come back the same person. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of spouses have trouble when people come back from deployment because they want their old spouse back. Well, that old spouse, I hate to say it, but that old spouse is still there, but they really are gone. They look at life differently. Everybody that's been to combat looks at life differently. A few things that you learn is you learn how to trust other people. You learn that people have your back, and those people become the closest friends you'll ever have. I'm still in touch with multiple people that I was in Desert Storm with. One of them in particular, we've had 3 assignments together. We were stationed in 3 different locations together. Just happenstance. And I'm still in contact with him today. We're still friends. I've known him for 30 years. I remember when his son was born very vividly because that was our second assignment. That was our third assignment together after Desert Storm. Because we were assigned together one location, then we went to Desert Storm, and then we went to another location together soon after each other. So, I'm still in contact with him, and we're still friends. I want to talk a little bit about intimacy in combat. Now, I'm not talking about sex and all that crap. I'm talking about the bonds you build, the trust, the intimacy that you have in combat. It's pretty important. You share experiences that no other people should have to see. And most people struggle understanding those experiences unless they've had them. So you have a special bond with these people that you've served with in combat. Most people that have been in combat, I was fortunate I haven't because I'm Air Force. Of course, we don't go out looking to be shot at. But, they lose people in combat. And that changes who they are. You're friends with somebody and they go out on a patrol and don't come back. You lose them, and that is hard. And it's hard to recover from that. So we need to understand that this is a reality, and it's hard. And it's okay to be upset about that. It's okay to struggle with that. To me, that means you're human. If you lost somebody that you knew and it didn't bother you, I question you if it didn't bother you. So it's normal. A lot of people have guilt. They have a lot of guilt, whether they could have done something different, whether they should have zigged instead of zagged. I've heard so many stories. I worked with one guy who lost 4 guys in one firefight. And, he was really struggling with that. And I told him, I said, run this through your head. Is there anything you could have done differently? And he said, he thought about it, thought about it. No, he couldn't have done anything differently. Every option was a bad one. But he has to live with it now, and he struggles with that. And, you have survivor's guilt. You are guilty because you survived and they didn't. That should have been me. I wish that had been me. They had kids. They had a family. I didn't have any kids. I didn't have a family. I wish that was me. There's a lot of that. Also, dealing with moral injury is something that nobody really talks about. Moral injury is one of those things that people really don't understand, but that's when you struggle with what happened morally. You had to shoot a woman, or you had to shoot a child, or, you had to take somebody out that you weren't sure if they were the enemy or not. But they might have had a cell phone in their hand, and you were observing them. And they picked up the phone to make a phone call. And, most people know that cell phones are used to set off bombs now. So you don't really know, and you've had to take them out. So, your morals are challenged. No, I've had people come to me and said, how can I go to heaven with all the people I've killed or what I've done? And that's an issue that a lot of people struggle with. It's just that you struggle with the changes that are made. You struggle with the changes in you. All this makes you who you are. If you've been in combat, you are not the same person. You are still that good person. You are still that person, that the loving, caring family member. You're still that person, but you've changed. You've changed the way you look at life. I know this is some depressing shit, but it's the reality of it. You change the way you look at life. We look at people now and we go, God, why are they so worried about the internet not working? We've dealt with life and death situations. The internet being out is a mild inconvenience. It's an inconvenience. It's not anything that major. It's not anything drastic. It's an inconvenience. Somebody cutting you off, that pisses you off. That sets you off. But that's an inconvenience. It's not anything major. So you look at things differently. So after you are deployed, you have to prepare to come home and be put back into society. Put back into your normal routine being at your military base. And get back with your family and all that good stuff. But that's another thing in itself. So we'll get into that in a little bit. And I hope I didn't depress you too much. I'm keeping it real from what I've seen and heard. So I hope I haven't scared you off, and I hope you come back to visit so we can keep having these discussions to help you moving forward. So again, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a good day. And like I said, I hope I didn't depress you too much. So you take care of yourself, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Disclaimer, I'm a licensed mental health therapist in California. If you're searching for mental health help, please reach out to someone in your state. If you are within California, you can reach me at the email below. And if you're interested in coaching anywhere in the United States, you can reach out below also. These videos are for educational purposes only, and if you're thinking about suicide, please reach out and call 911.